So, so we have to double our police force and our ICE's force, and we got to bring in the National Guard to assist them. These will be armed National Guards, you understand, ready to deal with any kind of subversive assault on America and Americans. That's the number two things that we must do. Strengthen ISIS, bring out the National Guard, and strengthen our local police forces. Refund the police forces. Give ISIS more money so that they can have the funds to increase their forces. Now, after we get our forces in place, now we got to protect all of the gun sellers, the legal gun sellers. They must be allowed to not sell guns to anyone without the proper permits. Nowadays, any young punk, 17, 18-year-old, can walk into a gun store and buy a gun. All of these school killings, all of these young people kill young, 5, 10-year-old school kids, you understand, are dying because of some sickie, you understand, that nobody knows that he's sick until he go out and kill a dozen of people, teachers, breaking in schools, things of that nature. These things have to be stopped. And who's to say that a lot of these people that are coming into the country that we don't know anything about is not the same way. So I have a plan. This is what you have to do. There have to be a series of regulations set up so that they have to go through City Hall, local City Hall, then you gotta go through the government, you understand? Each of these organizations must grant you a permit, and these permits can only be granted after you have undergone psychiatric and medical treatments to determine your psychological ability, your psyche, and your medical condition. You understand? Because certain medical conditions make you so frustrated and crazy, you know, it makes you want to go out and kill other people just to satisfy how you feel, you know, when you're in pain. A person in pain can be a very, very, very dangerous person. A person with a psychological problem can be a very, very, very dangerous person. And these are the things that I don't hear no politicians out there talking about, you understand? And they're going to wait that something bad happens before they make any suggestions or any move to deter these kind of things. We have to set up determined situations now, not yesterday, not tomorrow when it happens. We got to start working on these things now. You understand? I suggest that a person with a mental condition go to take 3 different medical examinations, you understand, to determine their psychic and their medical conditions. And all 3 of these medical facilities must render the same diagnosis, you understand, on these individuals before they can acquire a gun. I mean a legal gun. When it comes to illegal guns, anyone selling or buying or caught selling or caught buying or caught with an illegal gun, you understand, should be dealt with stringently, should be given some long time in prison, you understand? And I'm talking about not wearing beautiful sandals and beautiful orange jackets in prison. I'm talking about hard labor. They got to bring back some of these medieval deeds for these subversive people to undergo, to make them, to deter them from the kind of things that is being done to Americans. Those drug dealers with the fentanyl. That should be anyone caught dealing fentanyl, that should be a defense punishable by death. Because 300 young Americans between 15 and 35 years old, 300 are dying a day. Some people checked in a hotel with their baby, their little 2-year-old, year-and-a-half-old baby who couldn't walk, crawling across the floor in the hotel, found a pill that someone who lived in the hotel prior and ate this pill, and the baby died. These are the kind of things that we must stop. We need a deterrence of some kind. And the things that I am suggesting are the things that would deter these people from doing these things. Fentanyl smugglers, death. Death to all drug dealers. You understand? And those guys over there in Mexico, those cartels that are selling all of this stuff, they're here in America. You understand? They're here in America. Everybody coming across the border that have dealt with a cartel is wearing a different color wristband, and that wristband represents the money that they owe the cartel that they have to work off once they get across the border into America, either selling drugs, you understand, or doing whatever they can do to get money to pay the cartel back. You understand? And some of our security people in the government weren't even aware of this fact, that those bracelets that these people are wearing represents people that owes money to these cartels. These cartels should be dealt with. You understand? Mexico is behind a lot of this stuff. You understand? What are we going to do here in America? They're destroying us. They're living high on the hog from the money, from the drugs. You understand? And Americans are dying. 300 a day. 300 a day. We got to do this to get to that. You understand? And that, for us, is not very good. So we have to deal with that in a way that that will not happen to us. Do this to get to that is the program to let people know what they have to do to deal with the problems and not wait for the problem to happen, but to deal with the problem now. So much for that.
And then sign off, introduce yourself, your show, and you'll be back for another episode.
My name is Dr. Big Black, Yamon Dada, saying to America, you got to do this to get to that. If you want to get to that, you got to do this. See you next time.